Star Wars Junior Jedi Knights Book 2, Lyric's World, by Nancy Richardson. Prologue. The Purella skittered along the purple rocks that lined a cavern deep within the Sistra Mountain. It was almost time again. She knew by the tugging in her ruby-red underbelly and the thick strings of yellowed saliva that hung from the four barbed pincers lining her mouth. Every year at the same time, they gathered in the cove for the changing. And every year she found them. It was strange, this hunger she felt for the melodies, satisfied by gorging on just one of the beings each season. Last year she had pulled a melody from the shallow waters, having learned that she could stretch several of her legs far enough to grasp one without falling into the blue-green brine. She did not like water. That was why she never tried to capture an elder. They swam too deep for her. But it didn't matter whether she snared a changeling pulled from the shallow waters or a being who ringed the cove to protect the others. They all tasted the same. The Purella stopped before a meter-wide crack in the side of the cavern. This would be the place for her web. It was important to have a hidden den just in case they followed her. And although her 8 legs made her roughly 2 meters wide, her actual body was a bright red bristled mass and measuring only 1. She could easily fit through the crack. Slowly she crawled up the rocks and sidestepped through the crevice. It was narrow only for a moment, then widened into a darkly lit cave. Her glowing orange eyes surveyed the area. Yes, she thought, this was perfect. She began to spin her web. Black, sticky, and thick as a rope, it fell in lines behind her as she crisscrossed the cave. As she worked, she thought about the hunt, thought about the melody that would soon lie writhing in her gummy snare. The being would not be able to escape, and the more it struggled, the more the web would bind, until there would be no movement but the terrified rolling of the melody's yellow eyes. That was the moment that the Purella loved best, when all movement ceased and she was certain of her victory, certain that the prey could be devoured at her leisure. Yes, she thought happily as she spun, that was the moment she loved best.